Lord have mercy. Is this thing working? Oh, my goodness. My. Woo-wee! Y'all, look at here. Look at here. Man, look at here. I had to come on this goddamn thing, nappy-headed and all. I tell you the truth. Ooh, wait. Y'all, let me tell you. You know, Sylvia goes to the courthouse. Let me put the straightness out a little bit. Yeah, Sylvia goes to the courthouse. Okay. And when Sylvia goes to the courthouse, she's going to get the transcripts for us to sit up here and know what exactly what went on in the courthouse. Because we know that the media is one-sided, but see, us YouTubers got together and we got smart on their ass. Yes, we did. We got smart on them. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Because we got people that's there early. Okay? We got people that's there early. Show enough. We got people that's there early. Show enough. And so, before we get into it, we're going to listen to some of the infamous Sylvia stuff, okay? Infamous Sylvia want us to share this information, okay? Because she didn't sit in that long line, which we appreciate her so much. Her and her, I don't know who that is, but we appreciate you too, ma'am. And sit in that long line all day, all night to get in, to get us some detail about what's going on. That is somebody that's very dedicated. And I appreciate her for doing that. Okay, Demetria. Okay, Charlotte, Mixed Texas. Penelope, Prada. Okay, Nakia, Lovable, Laquita, Tiffany, Angela, Black, Miss Fat, Bossa Queenie, Tamisha, Vashana, Woman of God. Oh my goodness, Sherry, AD Music, Blue Skies, what's going on? I am so glad you guys came. Alexander, oh, welcome. Raquel, oh, Butterfly is Jane Doe. You ain't number 5, is you? You ain't number 5, is you, Jane Doe? Sheila, Olga. Oh my God. Ooh, y'all coming up in here. Trying to listen to Spittinfire. What Spittinfire got to say about it? Spittinfire told y'all. Okay? Black Beauty, Elijah. Hey, Elijah. What's going on? I told y'all asses from the beginning. I did. Sherry. I know you not, baby. Rochelle Phillips. Hey, baby. Hey. J-Time. Hi. Dear Hunter. Ooh, Bossa Queenie. Best mod in the house. Besides the other. What is Isha ain't in here? Isha Perkins? Ain't in here, Bossa Queenie? Dime K. What up, Dime K? Charlotte Reed. Tanya Travis. What's going on? YTF is in the building. Sherry Ashley. Sherry. Angel. Ooh, Shaniqua. Nikki Michelle. Andra. Keita. Ooh, wait. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. So she said all this shit, right? So we know yesterday, right? We left off at saying what she said, right? So she said that R. Kelly was spanking her, giving her spankings. I told y'all they was taking this shit from movies. I told y'all they was taking this shit from movies. Now, the prosecution coming up in there with all women, and they coming in there with carts, and everybody thinking, oh, the prosecution, oh, they coming there with carts, oh, it's over with. It's over. I told everybody from the beginning. Now, you guys remember, you guys should remember, I tell everybody there is a thing called cross-examination. Everybody want to talk about what the feds got. Everybody want to talk about what the government got. Everybody want to talk about what the prosecutors got. And I told everybody that the judge gonna let everything in on that end because these are potential self-proclaimed victims. These are victims for profit. I told you this. You know what? You guys need to be tipping me too, okay? Not I ain't got to be saying hit my cash up, but y'all should be tipping me too because I've been saying this shit for 2-3 years. I said that they were victims for profit. 2018, 2019, yep. I got old clippings that I'm working on when I had my co-host about when Surviving R. Kelly came out on with me, and some of you was there from the beginning. Me saying, where are the parents? People say, well, when you say where are the parents, you saying he's guilty. No, we're not saying he's guilty. When we say where are the parents, we're saying how the hell is your child is doing all this traveling all across the seas and shit, and you don't know? That's all that's simply saying. How the hell is your child tell you they gone 2 and 3 days? How you a mama and don't talk to your child for 2 or 3 days? I don't even care if my child's over at my mama's house. I be calling what she doing. I be calling why I know she sleep, but I want to know what's going on. How your child gone for 2 or 3 days in a week at a time and you don't talk to your child? I said that in 2018. I said that in 2019. You know, I think all those rumors for all those years that Gayle King was constantly trying to remind R. Kelly of, I think that this trial is going to clear all that up too. I think so. I think this is the trial that's going to totally vindicate him. It could, because after the testimony from what Sylvia and them witnessed today, and I believe, because she wouldn't waste her time standing in that long ass line telling us anything wrong. Anything. Now, I done told y'all them damn people were lying. I told y'all them folks in Surviving R. Kelly was lying. They was not even vetted. And not only that, I told you. I ain't even put my initiative out here yet that I've been working on. And I just got a new guy working with me because the other guy, he just has so much going on. So I had to hire a new guy to work with me on this initiative. And we're going to go meet Thursday, and we're going to push this out because I may as well tell you, because the simple fact is it's so far behind, but it's a Jessica Reed initiative, right? A real victim. And I am potentially working on getting some things done when it comes to that initiative. I just don't want to say everything. But I want to get some things done because it's wrong. That Surviving R. Kelly did not vet no one. People say, did you see Surviving R? All them can't be lying. Who hear that cliche? All them can't be lying. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Shit. These women, these girls, little black girls in the neighborhood. Well, little black girls in the neighborhood, these little black girls done fucked up your damn story if you did want to tell, because they lied. Mm-hmm. They sure did. They lied. You know what? Poor R. Kelly. Poor R. Kelly. To sit in a jail cell 2.5 years. And the girl came out and said that under cross-examination, when she was forced to tell the truth, my mom did all this. But what did Spittinfire tell y'all asses? Spittinfire told y'all asses, why the mama ain't coming out? It's always Angela. Why the mother ain't coming out? We women. Why is he in women shit? If you sexual, why the mother ain't coming out? I said that. And it was something about her in that Gayle King interview. It was something about her. That's why I kept playing it over in my video that I made a couple weeks ago. When I was talking about DJ Tyson and the conversation he had with him, that's why I kept playing it over. If y'all go back and look at my video, y'all will see her looking like in darkness. I don't think Angelo knew that they were all doing all this. I don't think he knew. I really don't. Look, y'all. I know I went from, but then again, the girl said the daddy knew too. Damn. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, Angelo, and your daughter ratted y'all. Look, she did a Takashi on y'all asses again today. Then when she sat up there, and then he said, "Did you meet with the government?" She said, "I don't recall." He said, "You sure you don't recall meeting with the government?" Okay, I met with them Sunday. Basically looked at her. She said, "Okay, I met with him Saturday too." He looked, okay, and sometimes last week. To go over her story. To go over her testimony. She met with them 7 hours each day to go over her testimony. If it's your truth, you don't have to go over your testimony. Then it became a point where the government got caught lying. The prosecutor, by the judge. Man, I did not tell y'all this was a setup. Ooh-wee. Woo. Well, I got something else that I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all something. Hold on. I got something I want to show you. Because this here is going to be something. It's going to be something. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it, but this is going to get good. Ooh, this shit finna get good, y'all. Tonight is going to be the night where y'all glad y'all stayed up late, even on this goddamn Tuesday. Or, yeah, is it Tuesday? Yeah. Ooh, it's going to be good, gonna be good. Let me see. Let me see. Nope, not there. Let me see. I'm looking. I got to find some things. I gotta type it in. Let me see. Oh. Let's listen to this. Because guess who had a mistrial today? Remember when I told y'all asses, when they got you looking to the right, you look to the left? And when they got you looking to the left, you look to the right. Azriel testimony fell apart during cross-examination with Candy. And what they do, what the government go do? Let's go listen.
His wife, Alice, are the parents of Azriel Clary, 21 years of age, who was recently featured on the interview with Gayle King of CBS. Azriel Clary met R. Kelly in 2015 originally. She was 17 years of age. It was made clear to Mr. Kelly and his handlers and enablers and others that she was 17 years of age. Mr. Kelly, together with those around him, convinced Angelo and Alice to permit Azriel Clary to be around Mr. Kelly in an effort to further her musical career. Azriel was intent on trying to use this as an opportunity to become a musical star. And in fact, R. Kelly and those around him did everything in their power to convince her that if she did this, that she too would become a star. We now know, of course, that this is part of his modus operandi relating to preying on young girls and convincing those around young girls to allow them to be around R. Kelly. I want to be clear about something. R. Kelly alone did not convince Mr. and Mrs. Clary to allow their daughter to be around him. They insisted on having repeated assurances from others around Mr. Kelly that their daughter would be safe, would be kept out of harm's way, and nothing inappropriate would transpire between their daughter and Mr. Kelly. Under no circumstances would they ever have agreed to allow their daughter to be around Mr. Kelly and others had they thought that she was at risk.
Okay. Now, remember that. And so, remember that, okay? Now, remember that, okay? And, yeah, we need you guys to remember that because I'm going to put up something today. Hold on. I'm going to put up something today. I'm going to read something to you. I'm not going to put it up. I'm going to read something to you, okay? I'm going to read it to you, and you can Google it yourself, okay? It says this, and I'm going to read it aloud. I got to blow it up, still got to blow it up, even with glasses. Today's date, the 24th, earlier today, 5:30 p.m. is when this article dropped. Right when Azriel testimony collapsed, okay? It says this. This is, judge declares mistrial with Michael Avenatti embezzlement case. The man who's working with the Clarys and was talking about R. Kelly this and R. Kelly that, and he's a pedophile, and he's this, and he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, and he had his own issues, right? He had his own issues. And his ass got a mistrial today, y'all. A mistrial. All right? While they had y'all looking and worrying about R. Kelly, and when her case, the feds was pulling some strings. A federal judge in Orange County declared a mistrial Tuesday in an embezzlement case against lawyer Michael Avenatti, saying his prosecutors failed to provide him with documents he needed to defend himself against charges that he stole millions of dollars from his clients. After bringing an abrupt end to the proceeding, U.S. District Judge James V. Selna set a new trial date to October the 12th. The mistrial is a significant, if fleeting, victory for Avenatti, who is best known for the former lawyer of Stormy Daniels and the adult film actress who was paid by President Trump to keep quiet about his alleged extramarital affairs. Avenatti must still report to the federal prison on September the 15th to start serving a 30-month sentence following his July conviction in New York for attempting to extort as much as $25 million from Nike Footwear Company. After his retrial, Avenatti will face more federal criminal trials. Okay, one in Santa Ana on charges that include bank fraud and failure to file tax returns, and one in New York on charges of scheming money from Daniels deals with the right, a book detailing the entanglement with Trump. All right, so I think that was just to try to throw us off, but we wasn't buying that. We was not going to buy that. We was not going to buy that. He did enough damage. He was the reason why all this shit escalated. And the very thing that he tried to do with Nike was the same shit he did to R. Kelly, okay? That's the same shit he did to R. Kelly. Because if you don't remember, let me remind you. Let me see. Let me see if this one is.
Good afternoon. Let me start by thanking State Attorney Kim Fox and her exceptional staff for their dedication and professionalism that they have exhibited while working with me and my clients over the last few weeks. The City of Chicago and Cook County are very fortunate to have Kim Fox and her professional staff at the helm of this criminal prosecution, and I am highly confident, extremely confident, that at the end of this journey, R. Kelly will be convicted on multiple counts.
I don't know about that, Avenatti. I don't know about that there. Okay? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, him being convicted on multiple counts. Not after the day, Azriel. We're going to get into Azriel in a minute because I'm tying all this shit in. Okay? I'm tying all this shit in. Now, let's take a look at this one. Let's see what this one says. What Michael Avenatti.
There has been a recent claim.
Oh, we already
There's
seen
been a
that
lot of.
We already seen that one. My bad. We already seen that one. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's try.
I am highly confident that when all of the evidence is laid bare in connection with these cases, when it is all known, when due process occurs, that I will be fully exonerated and justice will be done.
On Monday, U.S. prosecutors on both coasts charging Avenatti with a number of serious federal crimes. Prosecutors in New York say Avenatti tried to extort up to $25 million from Nike, allegedly threatening the shoe giant if they didn't pay up, he would release information he claimed would damage the company. On Monday, just minutes before his arrest, Avenatti tweeting that he planned to hold a press conference to disclose a major high school college basketball scandal perpetrated by Nike that we have uncovered.
Avenatti used illegal and extortion.
Y'all remember that? He used, let it go. He used legal extortion, okay? He wanted to sit up there and disclose and threaten Nike that he was going to go public. He was going to go public if they did not pay him $25 million, okay? If they didn't pay him $25 million, he was going to go public and tell them about the scandal and everything. They had all that shit on videotape. What did Avenatti do to R. Kelly? What did he do to R. Kelly? He kept going public. He kept going public. He kept going public. He did press conferences every day. Press conferences after press conferences after press conference after press conferences. The man did a press conference every other day about R. Kelly until Kim Fox had went out and got some indictments and arrested R. Kelly. But the thing is, R. Kelly kept getting bailed out. So then the federal government kicks in. We're going to try him with a RICO. This is what Homeland Security get for getting in business that ain't yours. This shit ain't RICO. Oh, honey, we ain't even got into the meat and potatoes yet. You should wait till what I played with Sylvia and them had discussed. Oh, my goodness. We ain't even got into the meat and potatoes. You hear what I'm saying? This is what Homeland Security got. And remember, they got some information from Tasha K. That's what Tasha K said. Oh, I turned it over to Homeland Security. I want to know, was her black ass in Sylvia's chat when Azriel testified? I wonder. Because remember last month, when she was on the damn show with DJ Tyson, she was like, why you capping for R. Kelly? No, you're going to be the main blogger with damn near 1 million subscribers that will have to say, I'm sorry. Because you know what? Because this don't look good for your channel, Tasha K. They made an ass out of you. You knew about it, but then you try to hold on to it because of what personally happened to you. I tried to tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. This man is innocent until proven guilty. And from what Sylvia and them said, they said Homeland Security was holding their head down, shaking their head. Don't shake your head, Homeland Security. We're taxpayers. We just want you to correct and let this man go because you had him detained for 2 years. Yeah, you gonna have to pay him. Yes, you are. The federal government gonna have to pay him. Just go ahead. But what you do is you get these parents and you make them pay restitution for the money y'all got to come out of for having this man detained. So what you do is go put some bracelets on Azriel Clary, like Spittinfire said at the beginning. Me, my channel only, giving myself all the props. I don't give a damn. And you make sure that all these parents and all these ones in the surviving R. Kelly get the bracelets. Yes, those silver bracelets that we call handcuffs. And this won't be a sex act. No. See, I knew that this man was innocent. I knew that this man was innocent. I felt God put me here, and I told y'all some of the stuff that I would say. I would not know why I'm saying it. I told y'all that before. So, for those of you who are some naysayers and don't believe me and all these type of things, you know what I mean? All these type of things. Let's go over to Sylvia's channel. Let's see if Sylvia still have it up. Let's, cause I was gonna play clippings, but you know, I told her if she don't mind, I'm gonna play some little clippings. I'm gonna try to find it on her channel. Okay. So this is the infamous Sylvia's channel. Y'all can go over here and listen to it word for word. Okay. But I'm gonna find some clippings or whatever. I thought I had some clippings though. Let me see. Hold on. Did I have some clippings? Oh, I do. I think I do got some clippings, y'all. Okay, here we go.
Angelo is going to jail. Alice is going to jail.
Okay, so now
Ron is going to jail.
This is why I say the mother better lawyer up.
They better lawyer up, y'all.
Remember, Azriel testified yesterday that she had a show in Key West. Rob was performing in Jacksonville, and she had a show in Key West. Oh, yeah. Homeland Security, they was like this.
They were right there upstairs with us. I look at the badge.
That's what they was doing. They looked at each other and were shaking their head. One lady kept her head on her head like this. We just knew when we was seeing them doing that, we just knew that they was finna walk Rob up out of there. Like, just go home.
Because even the judge even thanked the Marshall group. Yeah. Because they've been treating Rob really good over there now.
They've been treating him
real good.
Okay, so remember yesterday she testified that her mother, after one of her shows, drove her to Rob's show, even though his show was going to be over by the time they got there. That's when that.
Okay, let me tell y'all this. She's doing the cross-examination. She's reading what the cross-examination. We already know what the government had her say because it's all in the media. Okay, they promoting that, but this is what the media didn't tell you about what the defense got her caught up in. All right, so that's how I want to let y'all know.
Cheryl Macklin thing and putting them in different rooms and stuff came in. So this is where we at. This is where we at now. So Kaepernick says to her, "You talked about your show in Key West." She said yes, but she couldn't recall everything. He said, you said that your mother drove you to this show and it was a couple of hours away." And she said yes. He said, "Well, did you realize that Jacksonville, from Key West to Jacksonville, that's an 8-hour drive?" And then she said, "I probably got the location messed up. I must be mixed up with the location." Her mother literally took her from one location at 10 o'clock at night, drove 8 hours to go to wherever Rob was to find him so that he could sleep with her daughter. Because that goes back to when they got to Cheryl.
Wow, I got 600 people.
Please hit the like button, you guys. There's 350 people in here. Please hit the like buttons coming on in so we definitely, I'm gonna do a Sylvia on y'all. Please hit the like buttons. Get them up for me, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. So we want to at least get them up. You know what I'm saying? That's the best we could do. Thank you so very much for going back hitting the like buttons. Okay, let's get it going.
But in the chat, whoa!
Yeah.
I never in my life had that many people in my chat. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Dang, I hit a world record today. Wow, thank you guys.
So yeah, she says, so when they got to that hotel, remember she testified yesterday that Cheryl was trying to put them in different rooms, but they said that the mother, they was willing to share a room. She said that we told Cheryl that we would share a room. And the mother supposedly, Cheryl insisted, no, you guys get separate rooms. The mother took Cheryl's room. Cheryl went to a hotel further out, and Azriel supposedly went with Rob. Well, she testified that that was not the case. Her mother refused to take Cheryl's room and wanted a room of her own, leaving her to go sleep in Rob's room.
Yeah.
At this time, she's still 17 years old, because we went back to around April, May-ish of 2015.
When she was being doing her testimony and with the prosecution, they kept emphasizing the age 17. That's all they kept doing, the 17. You hear what I'm saying?
Yesterday they were stressing that age 17. They trying to drill it into the jury's head. It's a technique that they do, a tactic that they do to try to drill that age. She was still a minor at 17. At 17, it's backfiring on them, because you know what? All they prove is that while you charging Rob with trafficking, this woman drove her child in the middle of the night to a 48-year-old man at 17 years old. 17. We're going to say it just like they were saying it. You trafficked your daughter.
Yeah.
Didn't Spitfire tell you?
You guys,
I don't know
if Rob caught up, and he.
So and also I'm gonna say this: the pictures that she was sending Rob.
Get them fire flames up. Didn't Spitfire tell you that trafficking normally starts at home? Didn't I tell you that? I said on most of the occasion, most of the time, it starts at home. Because if you are a parent, there's no way. That's right, and get them fire flames up. Thank you.
When she was in her bra and her panties and she was singing, her parents had actually took those videos and pictures of her, and they actually sent them to Rob. She didn't. They staged all of that and sent to him.
Who want to place a bet that the Homeland Security, seeing this, is probably working on the case right now? Keep them fire flames going.
She wasn't legal in the state that they was in, because if she was, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even be on this live. We wouldn't be doing none of this if she was legal in the state that they trying to say that she was in, having sex with Rob.
Because the policeman came up there and saw her ID and said she was 18.
It was staged.
Everything.
It was all staged. They wanted Rob to believe that she was actually 18, because the police officers looked at her ID and said, okay, she's 18. They staged that. That's why he never thought to ask any more questions about her age.
All you R. Kelly haters who try to put that man in a casket, you guys are wrong.
Heaven or hell to put nobody in. And look at that. Wrong. He don't even belong where he at, and it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
This is sad. It's sad. Really sad. The only thing that we can really say that Rob did was slapped her.
That's a bad relationship. Cheated on something.
And he should slap the damn mama and the daddy. He should slap all three of their asses. Like I told y'all yesterday, he should slap the shit out of all of them. While he walk by, he should go bam, bam, bam. He should slap the shit out of all of them.
But he slapped her because he's been in this situation. The America still makes fun of him. They clown him of that shit from 2008. And here you is, he asked you several times, how old are you? And you lied for how many months? And then putting him back into the same predicament. I still stand on what I said yesterday. You lucky that's all he did was slap your ass.
And they're gonna put that little pedophilia and all that, sleeping with boys and all that. You guys are terrible.
Lies. That searching, Googling that child porn and stuff, lies.
All of it was.
Luckily, the judge didn't allow it. But if she would allow it, they would have found a way to show that that was a lie too. She was setting him up. They asked her from July to August of 2015, how many times did your parents come see you? She said once. By the end of August 2015 to December of 2015, when you finally turned 18, how many times did your parents come see you? She did not recall. It was probably none. She said that she would text and make phone calls and etc., but that was pretty much it. Contact. She said her contact wasn't regular. Reminded her she was on. Okay, this is where it got good, and I'd like to thank Shabazz for this.
Yes,
thank you, Shabazz.
Thanks, Shabazz. And Shabazz is supposed to be one of the.
I don't know. Oh. So I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know if they're Nisha Bass. Well, I don't know, but we know they use precedents. So by this time, I want to say it's probably about. I fell asleep at one point too.
We fell asleep and we tired.
No, that's not true. That's not true, Giselle. That's not true. That's what the media lied about. That is not true. These are people that was in there taking notes. They're reading from the notes. We're telling you what the media didn't tell you. Okay? These women stood in line, and I know them, and they stood in line all night just to get into it because they only would allow 8 people in. And they took notes. So that's not true. Let me see. Let me see the other one. Let me see. That was last night. Hold on. Let me go to Sylvia's. Because now that's why I stopped it. Let me go to Sylvia's. And y'all can hear it from there. Because Sylvia had it. Hold on.
$17 old, because we went back to around April, Mayish of
And
2015.
When she was being doing her testimony and with the prosecution, they kept emphasizing the age 17.
All of that for what? And you gonna say yes?
Everything that anybody have ever said about that man has all been lies, y'all. Just lies.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Even with the whole thing with the homosexuality, all of that lies.
It was lies.
Lies.
And I just wonder, what is Gayle King sitting at home saying right now?
That's
What is she thinking?
And the news is still not putting it out. I don't understand it.
That's what I want to know. I said that. I want to know what the fuck Gayle King got to say about this shit. Because I want to know that. I'm just saying, y'all. Okay. I'm playing it. I'm playing audio now because I had to stop it. Okay. I only can play so much of her clips.
So that's why it's important for us to give y'all these videos.
And it's in the transcript. I promise you, it's in the transcript.
So now they said she testified that those iPads that Rob carried in his bag, that he only used that to record sexual intimate moments with each other or whatever, with whoever. She testified today that the iPads were used to capture memories.
Everything that they did.
Trips, playing around the house, going to the beach, playing volleyball, having fun. She said she never recalled playing volleyball with him. Is it just, did she not release her own video of her at the beach playing with the water guns and hitting the volleyball with Rob and Joy? Did she not do that?
He was trying to create memories so he can always keep them
He
on the
wanted the
iPad.
memories on the iPads. That's what's on the iPads. That's why they have not made any mention of what they found in the storage.
It's all iPads of their lives
Memories.
together.
Okay, so y'all remember yesterday she testified that when they had to go to basketball and watch him play, that was every single day they had to watch him play basketball. They was not allowed to look at any other men. This was funny.
Canik is funny,
So
y'all.
he said, how could you just sit there and not watch other men while Rob was playing basketball and there's other men playing basketball? And she said, well, I just looked at the shoes. And then he said,
What color
okay,
was
well,
the
what
shoes?
color was the shoes? And she was like, I don't recall.
He said, what kind of shoes?
What kind of shoes? I don't recall.
Well, he got thousands
But
and thousands
because he
of
got
shoes.
thousands of shoes. But I packed his shoes every day. I packed his gym bag. I packed his gym bag every day. So you don't know what kind of shoes was it? Were they Nikes? They could have been. He said, oh, was it an Air Force One?
Because remember, he hit her with an
And
Air
then
Force
she
One.
said,
Remember that?
No, it wasn't an Air Force One. So then the judge came out and said,
Y'all remember when she said he beat her with a size 12 shoe and it was an Air Force One? That's what they're talking about. That's what Canik asked her. He was being real funny.
did you look at the other guys playing basketball? And she said, yes.
They kept going back and forth. She
Yeah.
wouldn't answer the question. Then the judge stepped in. And then the judge said, did you see other men while you were playing basketball?
No, did you look at the other men while he was playing basketball? And she said,
yes.
So you just went through all of that for what? And you gonna say yes. Okay, so then she says, so remember, I just said it. She said it today. She said it yesterday. She said it in 2020. Whenever Rob was recording, because of the position of the iPad, she always knew that she was being recorded. Today, she testified that she did not know Rob was recording her when they was having sex. I think this girl get high. She has to get high, because can't nobody be, you know what I'm saying? She literally said that she did not know what was being recorded.
They done prepped this girl for 2 days, 7 hours each, and she still don't know how to say the goddamn lines. We done prepped you. If I was the government, I'd be like, bitch, we done prepped you for damn near a week, and you still don't know what to say? Oh my God. Oh, let's listen some more.
I think they will bring in the mom. Honestly, I thought they would. Okay, dumb criminals.
They so
How many
stupid.
witnesses does the government have?
That was so
Not sure. I'm not sure because they said they got to do some rearrangement. She basically messed everything up. Some of these witnesses was only witnesses to her testimony. Her testimony is shot. So some of these witnesses that's why they're not even gonna bother even flying them in.
Yeah, they're
so
not flying them in. They're not wasting their money.
they're not flying in witnesses. They actually just gonna do video call.
Yep. You should have seen the prosecution. She was so mad. Oh my God. That woman was so livid. At one point, she got on her phone. She was texting. She was texting somebody, and she got up. She went over there, and she asked the judge, can we have a sidebar? So they let us out early today.
So
Yes, it did, but we stayed behind and watched them talk.
So they asked about calling him daddy, and they said, well, you testified that that's the only thing you were allowed to call him, and she said yes. And so Kavanaugh said, well, didn't you call him Bear? And she said yes. Well, at first she didn't say nothing. And then he said, well, what about Papa Bear? And then she said yes. And before that he said, how soon after meeting him were you required to call him daddy? And she said immediately.
Hey, Old Cove, all y'all over there, y'all boy gonna probably get some time too. They going back and get all of them. Old Cove, I know y'all in my bushes. All y'all used to talk crap about Rob. They going down. All of them.
Right. And so at that point she was proving that she called him Bear and Papa Bear. So daddy was not the only thing that she was required to call him. And not only that, he also had nicknames. The other girls had other nicknames for him too, and he had other nicknames for them. But she said she didn't recall them all having nicknames. They showed her the documents prove that she lied. And then when they got to talking about, you know what, they didn't touch on that, so we're not going to talk.
She lied on the stand there, y'all. Not one time, but every single statement she lied. And the judge saw it. The judge said she's inconsistent.
Yeah.
The judge says she's inconsistent. I want that to sit in for a minute. Sylvia said the judge said she's inconsistent. I was happy the judge said that, but it brought tears to me. Because this man sat in the worst place for 2 years. Because these parents, as I said, has set this man up. And God pointed me to sit here on his camera and say the things that I say that I don't even know this man. I don't even know R. Kelly. I don't know him, never met him, never been to a concert. And I said that early on. Let's listen some more.
That's
so
terrible.
Then they asked her, didn't Rob put you on a pedestal? She says no. They say what she told the government that he did, and she showed proof. And then she remembered saying it. And then she said, but he didn't, but it was in the docs. So she told the government that he treated her very good. He put her on a pedestal. She said she didn't remember saying that even after they showed her the proof that she said it. You know what I don't understand though? If the government has her saying all of this stuff, why would they still allow her to get on the stand and coach her? I don't know if we're going to say coach her, because they spent so much time on the stand with her and they knew what her responses was going to be. Why the hell would you allow her to get up there and say something totally different than what she told y'all in 2020? Did they really feel that the defense was not going to have access to this? Matter of fact, when Connick had caught her up in a lie, he showed her the documentation, and the prosecution stands up and says, wait a minute, I need to see that. I haven't seen that. He said, why not? You gave it to me.
Yeah, we got it from you.
We got it from you. If y'all knew that these were the statements that she gave y'all in 2020.
Did y'all hear that? Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? I know y'all couldn't hear me because I had the microphone to the speaker so y'all can hear what they were saying. She said, the prosecutor said, we don't have that. And he said, why you don't have it? You the one who gave it to me. Now, remember in the motions when the defense was saying they didn't have some things and they were saying it was in the 3500 production, all the stuff that they gave them. So now the videos and what they're talking about, now the prosecutor saying we don't have that. And then our Kelly attorney said, I don't know why. You the one who gave it to us. Let's listen to that again. I think we need to listen to that again.
The judge saw it. The judge said she's inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Then they asked her, didn't Rob put you on a pedestal? She says no. They say what she told the government that he did, and she showed proof. And then she remembered saying it. And then she said, but he didn't, but it was in the docs. So she told the government that he treated her very good. He put her on a pedestal. She said she didn't remember saying that even after they showed her the proof that she said it. You know what I don't understand though? If the government has her saying all of this stuff, why would they still allow her to get on the stand and coach her? I don't know if we're going to say coach her, because they spent so much time on the stand with her and they knew what her responses was going to be. Why the hell would you allow her to get up there and say something totally different than what she told y'all in 2020? Did they really feel that the defense was not going to have access to this? Matter of fact, when Connick had caught her up in a lie, he showed her the documentation, and the prosecution stands up and says, wait a minute, I need to see that. I haven't seen that. He said, why not? You gave it to me.
Yeah, we got it from you.
We got it from you. if y'all knew that these were the statements that she gave y'all in 2020, what the freak was the purpose of bringing these charges on this man when y'all know damn well that she said all of y'all didn't have a case?
It was terrible.
Okay, hold on. Somebody asked what?
It's sad that they wasted taxpayer money on this case. You should have let this man get a bond in the beginning.
Who is HS?
Who's HS?
HS. No. Lex, who is HS?
Even the judge even thanked the marshal. People in my chat, hit the like button. Hit prosecution. They kept emphasizing the age 17.
To Rob. She didn't. They staged all of that and sent to him. She wasn't legal in the state that they was in, because if she was, we wouldn't be here today.
Yep.
So we wouldn't even be on this live. We wouldn't be doing none of this if she was legal. But she's now saying this. Wanted to market a Bluetooth dildo. Shut. Okay, she said she don't think that she wanted to take a break from music because she was. Is there any questions?
She was being abused, y'all.
She was being abused.
Okay, wait a minute.
How old you was, and she.
Okay, so right here is where they're going to talk about. Right here is where they're going to talk about how Azriel didn't want to do music anymore, didn't want to sing anymore, and her mother and father, Angelo and Alice, used to beat her and make her sing. Okay, but they said that the psychiatrist said it was good for her to pursue her singing. She said that's what it was. And remember early on, I told you guys in 2019, I didn't understand why a young woman who had a father in her life would try to commit suicide over her boyfriend. I said, I understand if she didn't have a father figure. Remember, I kept saying that? I said, something ain't right with that. Why is this child, you are in her life, you raised her, you the first man she loves. You her daddy. Why is it because a boy broke her heart that she feel like she tried to want to commit suicide over? That doesn't seem right to me. That doesn't seem right to me. And this is why, because of the manipulation that they did to their daughter. So let's listen to something else.
It was just dancing, the same stuff everybody do. What kind of dancing is that? The judge actually had to intervene and ask her.
Okay, this is about the dancing. Yeah. This is about the dancing. I like this part. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. The exact mark. Hold on.
She was like,
well, see, the black panties, I didn't want to touch on that just yet because I go into that.
It's coming up.
Sorry.
So he had also said, he asked her, did you ever get on stage at that concert? And she said, no. And then he said, so you're saying that you never got on the stage? She said, no, I didn't get on the stage. And he said, so you wasn't on a speaker? She said, no. He said, so you was never on the speaker twerking? Well, I was on the speaker, but the speaker wasn't on the stage. And then he said, but you were twerking. And she said, no, I was just moving my body. And he said, well, what do you call that when you moving your body?
He said, what kind of dance?
What kind of dance is that? And then she said, it's just dancing. It's the same thing everybody do. I'm answering it just as she was how she responded. It was just dancing, the same stuff everybody do. What kind of dancing is that? The judge actually had to intervene and ask her, what is the name of the dancing that she was doing? Twerking. So he said, so you were indeed twerking on the twerking on the speaker on the stage. Yes. While her parents was there. So then she proceeded to tell her parents, which she did not say yesterday, Rob looked at me. I think he liked me. She said, oh, I don't recall saying that. But then again, every time they asked her these questions, I don't know why she didn't catch on. They obviously had some type of documentation to back up what they saying. So she said she didn't recall, then they showed it to her. I guess I said it. Then they began to talk about the mother texting Rob. Yesterday, it was a matter of a couple of weeks. Today, she said, oh, it was only a few, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
They asked, did Rob not ask your mother how old you was? And she said she didn't know about that. She didn't see that text message. Although yesterday she said she noticed that her mom had been texting him for some time. So to know that he had been texting her for some time, that means you had to go through the messages to come up with that time frame. Today she said she didn't see any messages with him saying, him asking for her age and what the mother said. So clearly she protecting the mom right there. She claims all she saw was pictures her mother had sent. They asked, how long did your mother text Rob? She said 2 days. How many texts was it about? She said she couldn't recall how many texts. So at this point, they asked her, now, isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? We're in April 2015, y'all. Isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? Is it not true that your parents actively beat you just to make you sing? And she said yes. They were beating her to make her sing, y'all.
She was.
Did you hear that, y'all? She testified that Azriel Clary and Alice Clary, if I'm echoing, that's YouTube. I don't give a damn. We gonna still go on with the show. She said that Azriel Clary and Alice Clary beat her to make her sing. Let's listen to that part again. I knew these goddamn parents. I've been screaming that shit. And then when the rallies would come and they say, where were the parents? Everybody act like we was stupid and incompetent.
So he said, so you were indeed twerking on the speaker on the stage. Yes. While her parents was there. So then she proceeded to tell her parents, which she did not say yesterday, Rob looked at me. I think he liked me. She said, oh, I don't recall saying that. But then again, every time they asked her these questions, I don't know why she didn't catch on. They obviously had some type of documentation to back up what they're saying. So she said she didn't recall. Then they showed it to her. I guess I said it. Then they began to talk about the mother texting Rob.
Did you think that this celebrity wasn't going to have the best attorneys? Didn't Spittinfire tell y'all wait till cross-examination? Everything seems all good and dandy, like slam dunk. But I've often remind y'all there's a thing called cross-examination. Let's listen some more. And thanks to Sylvia. Thanks to Infamous Sylvia for going. I want to make sure I shout out to Infamous Sylvia. She's going to give the transcript. Make sure you guys, mods, please put in Sylvia Cash App, okay, for the transcript. The transcripts are not cheap, people. For 3 days, it was damn near $1,000, okay? A lot of the subs came in and everything. We made that happen, all right? And then she said if you want certain parts of it, you don't have to pay, a large sum of money. I think she was saying it was something like $25 or whatever. But if you guys go back and listen to this video, this is the one that just ended about an hour ago and streamed about 3 hours ago. This is the last one she got up. You can listen to this in its entirety to hear the message that she had in regards to the transcripts, okay?
Yesterday, it was a matter of a couple of weeks. Today, she said, oh, it was only a few, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
They asked, did Rob not ask your mother how old you was? And she said she didn't know about that. She didn't see that text message. Although yesterday she said she noticed that her mom had been texting him for some time. So to know that he had been texting her for some time, that means you had to go through the messages to come up with that time frame. Today she said she didn't see any messages with him saying, him asking for her age and what the mother said. So clearly she protecting the mom right there. She claims all she saw was pictures her mother had sent. They asked, how long did your mother text Rob? She said 2 days. How many texts was it about? She said she couldn't recall how many texts. So at this point.
Okay, so at that time, during cross-examination, Canick was asking Azriel because Alice was pretending that she was Azriel when she was talking to Rob early on. The mother was pretending she was her 17-year-old daughter lied about being 18 to talk to R. Kelly. The mother. So she was texting R. Kelly pretending to be Azriel and lying saying she was 18. And if I don't get to play all of everything, because I can't, because Sylvia was nice enough to let me play some things, I can paraphrase other things. I'm going to play a little bit more, but then that's it, because it was a long live, but I'm not going to play all her content. Make sure you go over there, check it out, and support it. But there was a picture floating around with Azriel in her uniform sitting on Rob's lap. And I remember that picture. I'm going to be truthful. I remember that picture. I remember seeing that picture early last year. Early. Or it could have been late 19. But I remember seeing that picture. And it was a behind the scenes picture. It was things that the bloggers were trying to keep off the internet. Because we didn't know where it was going with that. So behind the scenes, we was just like, you know, this is ugly. You know what I mean? And we was like, no, we can't put this out here. This is ugly. This is ugly. Well, it came out in court today that picture that they showed in the courtroom was staged by her mother and father to set up R. Kelly. She testified to that. To be in her uniform, sitting on his lap, kissing him. She testified to that. Sick. Parents are fucking sick.
They asked her, now, isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? We're in April 2015, y'all. Isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? Is it not true that your parents actively beat you just to make you sing? And she said yes. They were beating her to make her sing, y'all.
Yeah. She was
Is there any questions?
She was being abused, y'all.
She was being abused. Hey everybody. So now y'all understand
You said all that shit about
why he probably had a.
You said all that shit about DJ Tyson, and this girl testified under oath in a courtroom today to this shit. And you had the nerve to talk about DJ Tyson. Just last week, did you not think this was going to come out? Did you think that because they were prepping her for 7 hours every day, that she was just going to go through cross-examination like it was nothing? They are professionals too. Spittinfire told y'all there's a thing called cross-examination. Let's listen some more.
Soft spot in his heart for her, and didn't want to send her home when he probably should have, and things like that, because she probably told him about the abuse. And we know Rob's history, so just his heart. Yeah. So he thought he was taking her out of a situation and putting her into a better one, just to get screwed over. But it's okay, because God don't like ugly. After that, they sidebar for a little bit. That's when they asked about the black panties. After the sidebar, then they came back and she asked about, Kanik asked about the black panties that she had received. We can't tell who she was making eye contact. I'm pretty, I doubt it.
Down. She kept looking down today.
Once she started getting caught up in some of this stuff, she put her head really in her lap almost, and she was looking down the whole time. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, Rob never really looked at her. No, he didn't look her way at all.
He didn't look at her ass because he was disgusted.
He shook his head a couple of times.
As she was answering questions, he shook his head.
Like in disbelief.
She tried to say yesterday, well, she didn't mention it at all yesterday, but she tried to say he gave her a pair of black panties, but in actuality, she was not the only one in that pit that actually got black panties. She actually went on to Twitter. She posted them on Twitter. There was a post that she made about the black panties. I remember seeing it. They showed her the post, but they didn't show it to us, so I can't tell you guys what the post actually said. So in April 2015, I was telling you guys that she said that she was a member of the Patriots. She'd been with that group for an entire year. Talked about yesterday she talked about how she didn't get any scholarships to college because she was no longer in those groups. She was taken out of school and she was forced to do the homeschooling. But today we found out that she was never offered any scholarships. Yeah.
Yeah, so how can you say you lost?
The girl lied about having a scholarship. This is Azriel Clary, the one who was fighting Joyce in the Trump Towers. The one that I told Angelo Clary not to let his daughter get cross-examined. The one that they said Friday, she's ready to tell her story and she just this and that. And the media is trying to glorify the prosecution knowing damn well they're losing. They're getting their ass kicked in there. They're getting their ass kicked. And they did not think that we was going to have people in there that could tell the story correctly. Let's listen. Oh my God. Let me see if I can go back a little further. Hold on.
Happening at the studio or at Trump. She couldn't recall. His love for her, how much he loved Azriel, trouble. She said that he said if they violated, he would know if they did something on their.
Okay, so this is when she's saying about the abuse and things like that. And I think, hold on, I think this is what she first going to say about when the prosecution rests. And then Kenny first came on. Now, the stuff that I was just showing y'all was when they got to the meat and potatoes. But I'm taking y'all back to the beginning of when the cross-examination first happened today. And tomorrow, cross-examination will continue. Okay, make sure you guys tune in to Miss Sylvia's and then the late night with Spittinfire.
Yeah, she says she's seen them bring him coffee. Then she claims she still never seen their faces. Judge had to get involved because they was going back and forth and she was acting like she couldn't understand what he was saying to her. So that was the first lie of the day that they really had caught her in. And that was the first time that Koenig had actually, I'm in New York. Yeah, that was the first time today that he had actually redirected, cross-examined her. And then she said she did recognize the engineers because they were always in the control room. And she recognized which one Abel was when they showed her the picture. The prosecution asked her, what negative things did he tell you to say? What negative things did he say to you about your parents? And she said the girlfriends, were worthless to the parents. She said that Rob's parents sold them to him. This is funny. She said that his ex-manager, Mace, had gave her father a few bricks.
You know what bricks is, right? Drugs.
In exchange for her.
Money or drugs, right?
Bricks.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? She said that she testified and told them that R. Kelly gave her father a few bricks, cocaine, in exchange for her. I just want to make sure ain't nobody around listening to this shit. Oh my God, let's continue.
What's bricks? Okay.
Cocaine, drugs.
It's drugs. Okay, again, this not nothing that we making up. This came right out their door to mouth.
Yep.
Today.
Yep.
She said this. We ain't saying none of this.
Did you talk about the beating?
Nope.
Okay.
She said that they gave her, they sold her for some bricks. That's what Rob, she said that's what Rob had told her. And he told her that he treats them better than their parents do. The prosecution introduces Exhibit 68, which was just a picture of nephew. That's a nickname. I don't know his real name. They did not give us the real name.
She said she didn't know the real name.
She said she didn't know the real name, and the courts didn't provide it. She said she first met him. They asked, when did you first meet him? She said she really can't. This is what she says when she lying. She don't recall.
Oh, they don't call her Zell anymore, Eva. No. They call her Jane.
Yeah, she was the only one that wasn't allowed to use a nickname. She's the only one that's being referred to as a Jane Doe. So she said she really couldn't recall when
she was the main witness is the reason why. And that shit just fell apart. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all hear. I'm shut up.
First met him, but she said Rob did introduce them. He had been expressing for a period of time that he wanted her to meet nephew. And then one time she was on punishment pairing. That's what it was, y'all. It's called pairing. She was on punishment for pairing off, meaning that they weren't allowed to talk about whatever they did with Rob with the other girls. She was on punishment for that because she talked about family, previous life, personal relationships. Once he learned about the parent, it was Diana. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. At this time, that's when he learned that she was pairing off. She was at the hotel with Diana. She was not at the hotel with Juice. It was Diana Copeland. They were sitting at the pool. She said Rob was boasting about his love for her, how much he loved Azriel, and she was the one, blah, blah, blah. She said she started to feel guilty, and she told him that she had been pairing off. He told her that, he was telling Diane he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. He told her to go back to her hotel room after she told him she was pairing. He made her once she got to the hotel room, he scolded her some more, and then he made her go to the bus. And then that's when she went on the bus with Joy and Dominique. She received the punishment I already told you guys about a little bit earlier. But then her punishment wasn't over, because after that, he told her to go get naked. Mm-hmm. And this is when nephew was brought into the picture. She was in her room, and when she was in her room, she said Rob has a special knock. The prosecution actually made her demonstrate what his knock sounded like. They had to do it twice so they could count the knocks. So it's a total of 5 knocks. When he knocked like that, they knew that was him. She said when he knocked on the door, they are supposed to stand behind the door, because when they opened it, they didn't know who he was with. And that person wasn't allowed to see them. So she was standing behind the door. Whenever she came from in front of the door, she noticed nephew was there, and he was butt naked. She said Rob was also naked, correct? Mm-hmm. Rob was also naked. He came into the room, and he instructed her to be calm. What did he say? He wanted her basically to perform like she performed with him. She said he didn't want me to embarrass him. So she proceeded to have oral and vaginal sex with nephew. In between that time, she said she noticed Rob would go in and out of the room, him and nephew, every 2 minutes. She said she learned later that he was actually having sex with her, and then they would leave out, go have sex with Joy, come back, have sex with her. And he was doing that back and forth. She didn't say for how long, but it went on for, I guess, the night or whatever. Let me see what else he catch up to.
We don't know who nephew is.
Don't know who nephew is. But he, Azriel said that Rob told her that he had been grooming nephew since he was the kid. Yeah. He said he'd been grooming nephew the same way he grooms them since he was little. Okay, so that's what we just talked about. All of that. That was a lot. She said she slept with nephew plenty of times,
Yeah.
all at the direction of Rob, and he recorded every single time she was with him. Okay, so
We don't know who the nephew is.
What y'all want me to say? What do y'all want me to say? What can you say after that? The girl done sat up there and testified that her mama pretended that she was her and said she was 18 years old. She told R. Kelly she was 18 years old. The mama drove 8 hours away to make sure that her daughter sleep with R. Kelly. She did not even, the lady tried to make sure that the daughter and the mama was in one room, R. Kelly was in another. She said no. She did not want to sleep in the room with her daughter. She wanted her daughter to sleep in the room with R. Kelly. Azriel testified to that. Azriel testified that her parents beat her to make her sing. Azriel testified that her parents made her lie about her age. Azriel testified to that. And then the things that she was saying yesterday, she got caught in the lie with today. That R. Kelly did not know her age for a very long time. And then when he found out her age, he slapped her. He sent her home, called his attorney. But she told him that her parents was beating her and all that. She gets back. The mama sends her back to go back with R. Kelly. They said that when she was in the room with R. Kelly and the police came and asked for her ID and everything, the parents was downstairs, making sure that she was well into comfortable in the hotel with R. Kelly, and then they sent the cops to the door. Homeland Security is listening to all of this, shaking their head in disbelief. In disbelief. Do you not think they're going back to the office to redo this shit? Now they're going to look the other way. They're not going to look at R. Kelly anymore. It doesn't matter if he had sex with them. If I had sex with you and I'm thinking that you're 18 for many months, poured my heart out to you. Oh, I'm 17 now. I often said if he liked underage girls, why would you have to lie about your age? And why would you need fake IDs? I said that. I told you Demetrius Smith, he changed his tune. Jane Doe number 4 got caught up on Friday. I told you guys that on Thursday. I told you. There is a thing called cross-examination. If the Homeland Security shaking their head in disbelief, as was described by infamous Sylvia and her partner there, who went into it and witnessed this and was taking notes, and good notes she takes. What do you think they're doing? She said, I think Alice better lawyer up. But I told you guys, I asked you guys, I said, why the mother ain't speaking? Why is it always Angelo coming after women? The mother never spoke. She's trying to make sure her name ain't in shit. She's trying. Some of the shit I don't even think he knew. And now when Sylvia said all this shit, all these R. Kelly motherfuckers haters, all of a sudden they vanish. Where they at? It ain't been this goddamn quiet from the other side, and I don't know how long. I'm like, what? She testified that her parents was behind all this. She just broke down and told it all. Tekashi 6ix9ine all day. Let's listen a little bit more. Just a little bit more, Sylvia.
she saw them all the time.
Okay,
Oh, you talking about the engineers?
So
Oh,
they
well,
doing
yeah, on the
small
stand,
talk.
she said she only seen the back of their heads.
So they asked her
You know which one was
R.
Ian?
Kelly's engineers. For 1 minute, she didn't know who they was. Next minute, she seen the side of their face. Next minute, so that was if you lie about little stuff like that, you lie about the big shit. Okay.
Which was They
Rob
so
look
stupid.
good right now. He look good.
He looks really
You know what?
boof, big.
They said that Rob looked like a lot of weight is lifted off his shoulders. Like the trial is on the way, he can now expose the truth. Oh my God. And the media need to be ashamed of themselves.
But it depends, because if they underage, that's child, and you have a letter basically
Telling you that you did something.
that you did something to incriminating yourself or your family or something like that. So she don't mind getting chastised, but she's not getting the spanking. She compares herself a lot to Joy in these letters. And she says he doesn't treat Joy the way he treats her. And she said,
okay, so right here, she's writing a letter to Rob saying how she feels about how he treats the other girlfriend, the light-skinned one that you seen on Gail King, better than he treats her. Okay, and she writing this letter, and this is what she explained to right now. So let me go back a little bit, and then let y'all hear.
chastised equals spankings. Today she's saying, she told him she don't mind being chastised, but she won't take no spankings. Lie number 2. That letter she wrote was front and back, full page. Then she said everything with her. She said everything she do is a problem, but not with the other girls. The little things that she do,
competition to look like
the little things she do, he has a problem with it. But if the other girls want to do it, it's just like, okay, they don't have to answer as many questions as she had to answer. So that's what the first letter was about. Second letter, she was saying again, she don't mind getting chastised, but she's not getting the spanking. She compares herself a lot to Joy in these letters. And she says he doesn't treat Joy the way he treats her. And she said, if she's apologizing, just accept it. Apology is an apology, just accept it. And he won't do that. The third letter she wrote on the back of a book cover, because she said she had no paper. And she said, Rob always said, well, if you ain't got what you need to improvise. So she improvised and she wrote on the back of a book cover. And in that, she said, if Joy said she wanted to do something, you would say, okay. But with her, it would be a million extra questions. And she said she was getting spankings that nobody else was getting. And it seemed like she was getting them every day. The fourth letter, they found it was torn in half. Prosecution is still questioning her, y'all. The fourth paper was torn in half. They put it back together. And again, it's just the main issue. She just comparing how he treats her and how he treats Joy. She was saying she think he got mad at her because she texted him, but she's saying, but when Joy texts you, you didn't get mad. She was saying she didn't want to be in a relationship if it was going to be this challenge and be this nitpicked. And he's saying things just to start arguments for no reason. And she said he was nitpicking with her and he was starting the arguments with her because she was the closest to him. So she was basically saying she don't want that if that's how that's gonna go. All these letters were in full length letters. I don't understand when they was telling us for so long his dyslexia is so bad. So how are they writing these full page letters? Front and back.
Front and back.
Just
long
imagine.
page, especially the text
Just
message.
imagine.
With long text messages.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
So she was saying that's when the prosecutor was still asking her questions. And she was testifying against Robert. She was saying about spankings. They would get spankings. They had to wait on the bus for 3 days and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, during cross-examination, all that got debunked. This should give me a damn headache. Hold on, wait a minute. I got a damn headache. Oh, my God. I seriously got a headache. I took this case way too serious for it to be affecting my health. I got a headache listening to this. Okay, let me get through this. So, when she was asked all this stuff, she was saying something about they would be chastised. And then she went on to say that chastise equals spankers, but then she says it was something else, that they would be punished. So she contradicted herself in that statement. But then when Cannon came on, which is R. Kelly's attorney, they cross-examined her and asked about the treatments that she was receiving when she was with R. Kelly. And she said that when they will all go out, R. Kelly will always open the door. When they entered the room, R. Kelly will always stand up, take off his hat. I haven't seen that type of chivalry in I don't know how long. The last time I seen a man actually act like a man and stand up when a woman come in the room and take off his hat while he inside the house and open the doors and closing the doors after a woman get in was in the South, and my cousins and them do that, and my husband do that, or whatever. I don't even sit up there and know any fellow that do that today. But they said she testified R. Kelly did all that. He was a perfect gentleman. And that goes back to why no other girls came forward. Like, I know R. Kelly had more than 6 women in his 30-year career. He's not a bad-looking man. He's tall, handsome, and everything. He can sing. He's everything that a woman can dream of. And he's giving. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why you there? Like, early on, you can, if they claim you brainwashed, you can't be brainwashed that early on. Like, you just retarded. That ain't even just brainwashed at that damn point. And she said R. Kelly opened the door, closed the door, shut the door, stood up in the room, greeted them with a kiss, all this and that. But then she testified just before the cross-examination that they had to do all those things. Come in the room, kiss him on the cheek, all that kind of stuff. He just done debunked everything she said. Then she did, when she get caught out, she would just be like, yeah, he did it. Like, oh, well, you caught me in a lie. So at that one point, from what Sylvia was saying, Canning had explained to her, because he wanted to make sure she understood, because she's still, 21, 22, 23 years old. He said, did the prosecutor go over perjury with you? The judge looked at her. Did they explain the seriousness of perjury? That's what they stopped and asked her. The judge wanted to know this too. Did they explain perjury with you? Because at this point, you just lying, contradicting. The prosecutor would ask you one thing, you would say this. He comes back and say the opposite. She testifies to that. They was like, okay, do you know what perjury is? Because at this point, either you lying about everything or you just really don't know what perjury is. Because at this point, I guess she felt like she got immunity too. That immunity that Demetrius got don't go to your ass, Azriel. Okay? You should have made sure you got immunity if you wanted to be all flip-floppy. But you testified for the government and the grand jury and all this kind of stuff. So when they sitting up there like, the judge looking like, this girl just lying and lying and lying and lying and lying. Now Kenny caught what's the girl name? Geronda Pace in a lot of lies. Okay? The media ain't told you that. She got trapped on the stand too. Demetrius said, fuck it. Fuck all y'all. He said that today. Okay? Now, Azriel was just telling this damaging testimony at the beginning from continuation from yesterday. But then when cross-examination happened, she folded real early. Called her in like 15 lies consecutively. To the point where he had to stop and ask her, do you understand perjury? Did they explain to you what that is? She said, yeah. He said, well, did they explain the consequences? She was like, no. The judge was like, no. No. And y'all say the feds win, how many, what's the percentage? Because if they win 98% of their cases, I think this may be falling in the 2% that they won't win. Because if they win this shit, after all this shit, it's going to be a whole lot of people protesting. Whole lot of people. Because now we purchasing some transcripts. And now that some transcripts is out there ain't no denying. So you have to tell the public how this man got convicted. You have to tell them that. This is some crazy shit. So you got the whole world mad at R. Kelly. You got the, and I would love to know what Gayle King feel about this. I mean, if y'all can flood CBS morning show, I would love to know what she got to say about this shit. I would love to know. And I didn't care about you haters on YouTube, because all of them was just scorning women who've been abused, really. You know what I mean? And they just believe everybody that say that they are sexually abused. And this is why I told them you should never believe everybody that say they sexually abused, because you was. You got victims, and you got victims for profit. These were victims for profit. This was R. Kelly. I told everybody that. He did that because it was going on for years. I was like, well, after that first trial, he probably made sure that shit wasn't going to go on again. That's why he slapped the shit out of her. All these girls lying about their age to be with him. And everybody want to sit up there and was like, yeah, but she told her age and that don't matter. Everybody lied. Everybody lied. So the other witness that's supposed to support her claims, they were supposed to fly them in too. Well, the judge said, no, ain't no need to fly them in. They might as well go ahead and testify video. Like, we ain't spending no more taxpayer money. At this point, I don't even know why she even having them come in. How you gonna have some prior bad acts testifying to support her claim, and her claim is inconsistent? I don't get it. I don't get it. Excuse me, y'all. I don't get that. I don't get it. Oh, no, Marsha Williams. No, you must have just came in. You must have just came in. Because you a motherfucker that just came in talking stupid. You done missed the whole 45 minutes of this live. Because we done just told what happened in court. So it ain't about no who we believe and whose side we is. So all the shit you talking, you late. So go back later on and listen to this shit so you would know what you talking about. Because she said, when it's your kid, y'all would shut the fuck up. No, this is the witness saying this shit. This ain't us saying it. This is the witness testifying in court today. So you shut the fuck up. That's what you do. You go ahead on and shut the fuck up. How about that? This is the wrong damn channel. You don't tell my people in my chat to shut the fuck up when the people who you believe is on stage saying this shit. She's saying this shit. We ain't saying this. So you don't tell my subs to come over here and shut the fuck up about some bitch that you believe because she a lying little tramp. That's your motherfucking stupid ass, gullible ass. So if it was your gullible ass motherfucking daughter, this is something you will have her up to doing. How about that? Don't come over here with that bullshit. This is goddamn Azriel's fucking claiming. This is what she said on the stand. Ain't none of us in this goddamn chat said anything about her. She's saying this shit, motherfucker. What the fuck you talking about? Talking that goddamn stupid shit over here. This is her motherfucking ass testifying. This is R. Kelly attorney got her on the stand cross-examining. Stupid motherfucker. You coming over here with that old dumb shit. Because you can't take the fact that this motherfucker got caught in lies. Go to the store, get you a fifth, and get you a sit down and get a sip and get some reality in your fucking head. That's what the fuck you do. Fucking with my goddamn people over here because this motherfucker came on the stand lying and got caught up in some bullshit. This is spitting fire. Did you think that I was gonna let you sit up here, come in my motherfucking check, talking this motherfucking stupid shit? When this motherfucker saying it, we ain't saying what we believe. What we believe is over with. The trial has started, motherfucker. So sit your stupid ass down so you can learn some shit and listen to it. Because all that bullshit about it's your daughter, if it's your daughter. No, the bitch little motherfucker testified that our mama put her ass up to doing it. And the daddy and the mama knew about it. She did it under oath. So all that shit about us believe in R. Kelly and that shit over with, motherfucker. And you need to catch up. Come over here with that stupid shit. You got the wrong motherfucking channel with that. This her ass testifying, talking about as if we put these words in her mouth. She under oath, stupid motherfucker. She under goddamn oath. We listen to what people have wrote down during because we can't get in there. So they can have a pen and paper. They wrote down what the fuck she said. She got caught on the stand by R. Kelly's attorneys. She testified and broke down and said her mother and father set this all up. She said that today. Come over here with that stupid shit. If it was your daughter, that shit's so goddamn old now. You a week late, motherfucker. You a week goddamn late. Stupid ass bitch. Come over here with that bullshit. You get cussed the fuck out fucking with me. This ain't no goddamn believing R. Kelly or not believing. This is what the fuck she said. Now, what you need to do is go over to Al Angelo channel and ask why the fuck his daughter said that shit under oath. Leave us alone over here because we know what we doing. She testified that her mother did that. The fuck you talking about? Come over here with that bullshit, putting that shit in the goddamn chat with my damn people. We hearing it. The people hearing it. They hearing this. We ain't put this in Azriel head and mouth. This ain't no R. Kelly belief or nothing. This ain't none of that. You can't hold on to that no more. If she testified that her mama put her up to it, if she testified that her mama and daddy set R. Kelly up, she under oath. She said that. She said it. Deal with it. She the one who got the motherfucking Homeland Security shaking their head in the goddamn stand like, I don't believe this shit. She did it. We ain't did it. All that believing R. Kelly, you believe the victim, that shit over with. She killed that today. Deal with it, Marsha. Deal with it. Now, you just don't worry about if it was our daughter. You just make sure you ain't like Alice. How about that? Got me fucked up. Get your ass burnt up over here. The fuck? Come here talking that goddamn stupid shit like we done made this girl get on the stand and we made her say that. Cause your motherfucking ass 3, 4, 5 days behind and don't know what the hell was said and what's going on. I hate when motherfuckers do that. They don't know what's going on, but they ass to sit up there, come in the chat and just say some shit in the middle of the damn chat. Ain't smart enough to go back and listen to what was said first. Now you done sit up here and got your ass cussed out being a stupid motherfucker. Now let's go back to listen before we were interrupted to what Sylvia and them had to say. Thank you guys for the super chat. Stupid ass motherfucker.
So they asked her, so as of today, do you mind being chastised today? She said no. And they said, do you mind being spanked today? She said no. So the prosecution went back and said, wait a minute, did you answer that question right? You said that you don't mind being chastised today. So she kind of cleared that up. Oh, yeah, I do mind. She said, either way, it's abuse. She don't want none of it because it's all abuse. She was redirected on that question once she said that. And then she said, well, she didn't deserve neither.
No, you know what I like about
Azriel is still testifying. We don't know who's next because they said that they have to rearrange some things to see who needs to go next. So her testimony threw everybody off today. So
yeah, because she's going to go on her third day of testimony.
I'm going to keep it up. I'm pretty sure he does.
She's answering questions,
She
y'all.
wrote she wrote when she left. And
So
he
right
said
now,
he can't
people
read
in the
it.
chat was asking
Right,
questions.
that's what I'm saying, Kendra. If
So
he can't read, I don't know.
they're just asking questions right now. So as she finished asking questions, I'm gonna turn it back up as she start saying what Azriel said. Whether it was on the prosecution side.
Didn't she say that she took a poop in that cup twice? Today she said she only did it once.
Ma'am,
Okay.
stop reading because we don't go to.
So yesterday she said she took a poop in the cup. Remember when she said that she ate shit? He made her eat shit. Okay, well she said she took a poop in the cup twice. Today she said once. Okay, so within 24 hours her story changed. Within 24 hours, less than that actually. Okay, let's read it some more. Let's listen some more.
We gotta go to bed. We gotta go to bed, y'all.
Sylvia's trying to hurry up and go get it over with so they can go to bed.
Those wasn't the other kind of letters either. So then they started to ask her about surviving R. Kelly. She said she's familiar with it, but Rob's told them about it, and he told them there was going to be a docuseries coming out about him. He told them that it was all false and that he had served lifetime of cease and desist. At that time, it was only her and Joy living with him. And then if the show had came on or if they seen previews or something, they were told to turn it off, change the channel. And then he told them he would make a time to speak. Okay, so then he asked them if I came up with a time for you guys to speak to the public, would you be willing to do that? And she said yes. So she said he proceeded to prepare them for the interview. So this is leading up to the Gayle King. Mm-hmm. He began to prepare them.
Okay, so this is like she said, this is leading up to the Gayle King, and then she's still asking questions from the prosecution.
That interview, basically they did like mock questions, and then they were supposed to write down questions for him, ask him, and they give answers. Basically, she said that they did this for several weeks, mm-hmm. up into that Gayle King interview. Mm-hmm. Questions, let me see, ask about. They said Gayle. She asked. This is Kennick. He came on and he said, well, do you know who Gayle King is? And she said, I think she's a news anchor. And they asked, what was Rob when you were doing the interview? And she said he was in a hotel. They asked,
was it at your home? Was it at the home?
But it wasn't. It was in a home. It was in a residence side of the Trump Towers. It wasn't on the hotel side.
But then she said hotel.
But she said it was on the hotel side. Then they asked, was she being truthful in that interview? And she said no, she was not being truthful. And then they asked, what was Rob doing? And she said that he was basically coughing. He would cough a certain type of way just to let them know that he was in the room. She didn't say to let them know that he was in the room to like scare them or anything like that, but just to make his presence known. By the summer of 2019, she said that there was actually a period of time that she didn't live with him in 2019. It was she moved out of the Trump, and she said there was a period of time where she didn't live with him, but by October 2019 is when she actually moved out of Trump. She became a federal informant January 2020. Mm-hmm. Mind you, she left Trump October 2019.
Yep. Trump 2019.
The last question prosecution asked, did Rob take any steps to help you in your music career? No. Mm-mm. She described time together as abusive. Mm-hmm. And she said come January 2020, she no longer had any contact with him.
She cut off communication. She left him. That's what she said.
We went to break right then. That was it. Prosecution wrapped. They was done.
Now here come the defense. Woo! Cross-examination
For
time.
other people that's watching this that plan on.
Okay, so one cool. Sometimes that be YouTube. Like when we say things to go against their algorithm, they echo our microphones. I just found that out too. And they blur our cameras. Because once you stream into their streaming, like I got a software and I'm streaming into YouTube, then they can manipulate. I found that out. Okay, so now here comes the cross-examination, the beginning of it, you guys.
Coming to New York, there will be, normally they don't have trial on the Friday, but on the 3rd, September 3rd, they will be having trial because that following week, the September 8th and 7th and 8th, they're going to be off. So that's going to be a short week. So they're going to make that week before a little bit longer. And then the following week is also going to be a short week. So they're going to be having trial on that Friday as well. So, okay, so now she comes back after the break. Kenneth is questioning her. He started out saying, so you went to high school? She said, yes.
So now this is cross-examination. Kenneth is R. Kelly's attorneys. And this is the beginning. So if you go in my videos, if you can't rewind now, you have to wait till this live stream is over with and go back to listen because I played the ending first. And now I'm playing the beginning at the end because the ending was the good part.
He said, did you graduate? She said, yes, with a diploma, 2016.
Did you? Oh, hold on.
I'm doing it exactly in the order that they did it. Remember they went back and forth?
Okay. Sorry.
I'm doing it. I'm just reading it right after.
Okay. I was told not to disturb her. Sorry. Go ahead.
So she said, was there a graduation ceremony? We all seen the pictures, right? Uncle Rob holding the little nephew. Mm-hmm. You know what she said? She did not recall.
She didn't recall that, y'all.
How the heck you don't recall if you had a graduation ceremony? What's my brother? Will left yesterday, Kevin. But I think he coming back.
Yeah.
She fucking up their case. Oh, she already effed up their case.
Oh.
Yes, she already messed up the case when she didn't even know when she graduated. Who the hell don't remember their own graduation or if they even went to it? Let's go. Keep going.
Is she finished testifying? She is not finished testifying.
She took.
You got any questions on your side before I get in? Because this finna get juicy, y'all. Now we getting juicy. Because Kenneth is questioning her now. Do they have any videos? Okay, nope, that's done.
Okay, we're not gonna do no more questions. Okay, we're gonna finish this.
So she said she didn't recall if she had a graduation ceremony. She did not recall the date or the time of year it was when she graduated.
Lie number 1. Number 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 6.
Bunch of lies.
He asked her if she met with the government several times. She says yes, don't know when was the last time. So he questioned her a little bit more. She said she actually was questioned right before she began to testify this morning. Then he asked, was that the only time that you met with the government? No, she was there Saturday. She was there on Sunday. She said she didn't remember this, y'all.
She didn't remember.
After several times he had to ask the question, she finally remembered that she was actually being going over her testimony for about 7 hours on Sunday. He asked again, was that the only time you went over your testimony with the government? No, I think it was Saturday too. How long on Saturday? Probably about the same amount of time, 7 hours. So Saturday and Sunday, she spent 14 hours with the government going over her testimony. He asked again, was that the only time that you was with the government going over your testimony? Oh, probably last week too. It was like 2-3 days last week too, for the same amount of time, 7 hours each day. Yes, somebody going to jail, that's for sure.
Oh, they all going to jail, y'all. Wait till y'all hear this.
Wait a minute. She don't remember meeting with the prosecutor. She didn't want to tell that. You know what I'm saying? She did not want to tell that and got her ass caught up in some shit. Well, listen, just keep listening, y'all.
They going down.
So all the documents, all the exhibits, all the pictures, everything, they had already went over everything that they would be showing in court with her. So she testified today that yes, they did go over everything with her already. She says they asked, how many posts have you made about R. Kelly since his arrest? Guess what she said, y'all? She said 5. She said maybe 5 or less. She's only talked about him publicly 5 times. That's fucking hilarious.
I didn't check my Cash App yet. I'll check afterwards, y'all. We're trying to get it over so I can go to bed.
She said 5 times. He asked, were you monetized for these videos or posts or whatever you made? She said no. Well,
somebody didn't know. No, the judge didn't know what monetized was.
Right, he asked, are you getting paid for this? And she said, not all of them. 5 videos, y'all. That's all she did was 5. Okay. Asked about years of abuse. She went back and she told Kanik it started in 2005. So he asked, okay, well, what's the date that you met Rob in 2000? I'm sorry, y'all, 2015. What day did you actually meet Rob? She said, I don't recall. So he said, well, do you remember testifying about when the abuse started? You said it was a few months after you moved in with him. She said she couldn't recall.
She said it was right after.
And then she said she couldn't recall when the school year ended. But she testified she moved in at the end of the school year, beginning of the summer. She said she couldn't recall when the abuse started, but she knew it was a few months after she moved in with him. However, she moved in with him when the school year ended.
Yes. Yes, when the school.
So they had to prove that. So that was lie number 7. He had to show her docs as to when.
He had to get a calendar.
She said, well, I don't know. She didn't know when school. He said, well, when did school end? She said, I don't recall. So he went and he got a calendar and he showed her 2015 and it showed when the last day of school was, which was June the 3rd. And she said, oh, yeah, June the 3rd.
Okay, there it is.
Now she said, but then she said, oh, see, I think you're mistaken when I'm talking. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I actually left school a little bit early. So it was earlier than that because she said that she was with Rob and May. So she said, well, you guys were mistaken, or you misunderstood me. I left school a little bit early, so she's saying that she actually left before June 3rd. So now they started narrowing down when did the abuse begin again. So then she said 2 months. 2 months after she moved in. He asked her, what kind of abuse? She said, it was the slap in the park when I told him that I was only 17. He asked, did you tell your parents? She said she didn't tell her parents. She said she didn't, and she also stated at that time it was a question asked, but she said her parents did not tell her to tell Rob she was 18. Yesterday in her testimony, the prosecution asked her, what section were you in when you met Rob? She said she was in section C. So today they asked her, what section were you in when you met Rob? She said, I was in section B. So then they went and said, okay, well, we're going to show you what your testimony was yesterday. Yesterday you said you was in section C. And she said, well, the sections were, if you go into a section, you can actually get into the other section. So our ticket said section C, but we actually just said in section B. That was today.
Oh, I like what
this just from yesterday. She's, oh, Lord. Okay. Anyway. When she
you
said,
sitting in the pit?
Yeah.
Was there other people around you?
You probably have to say that. I don't know if I put too much about the pit. But they asked, didn't your mother tell you to go get Rob's attention? She said she didn't recall. So just so you know, basically, she's not trying to contradict what she may have said in statements to the government before. So instead of her saying yes or no and her contradicting herself, she's just saying, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
That's what they do when they're teaching you on the stand, how to not get caught up, because everybody knows if you tell them one thing and then you come back and say another, that's a crime. So to keep her from plagiarizing herself or whatever, she's just saying, I don't recall. So anytime in this case she says she don't recall, she lying. And I'm not saying that just to be saying that because I'm a supporter of Rob or anything, but as I keep proceeding, you're going to understand why I'm saying when she say she don't recall, she's lying.
I also want to bring up the part where inside the her section of that show, he asked, was it a whole bunch of people around you? Did you write that part? No. Okay. She said that he asked.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did? Okay. She wrote it down.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. So they asked, didn't your mother tell you to get Rob's attention? She said she didn't recall. He said, didn't your mother tell you to reach out your hand to his? She said she didn't recall. So then they showed her another exhibit of her reaching her hand out to grab Rob's, while there's other women also reaching their hand out. So then she said, well, yeah, I guess I did.
But you remember, she tried to make it seem like Rob reached out to her, right. Touch her
Yesterday, hand. She said that he was performing songs strictly for her.
Yeah.
He was giving her more attention than anyone else at that show, is what her testimony was yesterday. Today, it's clear that she was reaching out for his attention. He wasn't looking for hers. So then they asked, Kennick said, well, didn't he touch a number of the people's hands? And then she said, no, he only touched about 10. And Kennick said, well, isn't 10 a number? So the courtroom fell out on that because she was trying to be a smart ass.
And he told me I was the only one that he was looking at. And he said, there was people in front of you? Wasn't there people on the side of you? Wasn't there people behind you? What about people back of you? And she was like, oh.
Yeah. She said, oh, yeah, I didn't recall.
So the black penny. Tell us about the black penny one. You said he only gave you the black penny, but didn't he give black penny to other people in the audience?
Yeah.
She was like,
well, see, the black panties, I didn't want to touch on that just yet because I go into that picture.
Okay. Sorry.
So he had also said, he asked her, did you ever get on stage at that concert? And she said, no. And then he said, so you're saying that you never got on the stage? She said, no, I didn't get on the stage. And he said, so you wasn't on a speaker? She said, no. He said, so you was never on the speaker twerking? Well, I was on the speaker, but the speaker wasn't on the stage. And then he said, but you were twerking. And she said, no, I was just moving my body. And he said, well, what do you call that when you moving your body?
He said, what kind of dance
is that? And then she said, it's just dancing. It's the same thing everybody do. I'm answering it just as she was how she responded. It was just dancing, the same stuff everybody do. What kind of dancing is that? The judge actually had to intervene and ask her, what is the name of the dancing that she was doing? Twerking. So he said, so you were indeed twerking on the twerking on the speaker on the stage. Yes. While her parents was there. So then she proceeded to tell her parents, which she did not say yesterday, Rob looked at me. I think he liked me. She said, oh, I don't recall saying that. But then again, every time they answer these questions, I don't know why she didn't catch on. They obviously had some type of documentation to back up what they're saying. So she said she didn't recall, then they showed it to her. I guess I said it. Then they began to talk about the mother texting Rob. Yesterday, it was a matter of a couple of weeks. Today, she said, oh, it was only a few, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
They asked, did Rob not ask your mother how old you was? And she said she didn't know about that. She didn't see that text message. Although yesterday she said she noticed that her mom had been texting him for some time. So to know that he had been texting her for some time, that means you had to go through the messages to come up with that time frame. Today she said she didn't see any messages with him saying, or him asking for her age and what the mother said. So clearly she protecting the mom right there. She claims all she saw was pictures her mother had sent. They asked, how long did your mother text Rob? She said 2 days. How many texts was it about? She said she couldn't recall how many texts. So at this point, they asked her, Now, isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? We're in April 2015.
Okay, and so we went over that. And so let me see about this part. Let me see if I went over there.
For truthfulness or untruthfulness, or by testimony in the form of an opinion about this. Let me type it in here.
That's
Yesterday, so yeah, he said, and then he proceeded to say, well, I got most of this stuff from y'all.
I want to
Refuse the room, sure, off the room. So this is also when they call her up. The whole entire thing off to her. Times that your parents come see you, she did not recall.
Okay, so I want to play this little section again because this is one of my favorite parts. I'm sorry, y'all, but I got to play this part again because this shit is funny. You can't make this shit up. Dom K, you ain't never lying. You cannot make this shit up. Woo!
Oh, it was probably none. She said that she would text and make phone calls and etc., but that was pretty much it. Contact, she said her contact wasn't regular, reminded her she was on. Okay, this is where it got good, and I like to thank Shabazz for this.
yes.
Thank you, Shabazz.
Thanks, Shabazz. And Shabazz is supposed to be one of the.
I don't know. So I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know if they're Nisha Bass. Well, I don't know, but we know they use precedents. So by this time, I want to say it's probably about. I fell asleep at one point too.
We fell asleep because we tired.
I was tired in the courtroom.
That's
why
why
I gotta hurry up so I can go to bed. But
because we gotta be out there at 3 in the morning.
So she says on YouTube, it was not her decision. Contact wasn't regular. She said, okay, the contact wasn't regular, but remind you, she was on precedence where she was saying, yes, that was my decision. I didn't want it to be. She said, no, she don't recall ever saying that to anyone, and it wasn't her decision. So they went over precedence and told her so what Kennick did is everything that she said. Do y'all remember in the video she was sitting next to Angelo and she was telling the story and she was your wife, and the only reason I didn't is because I wasn't checking in when I was 17, so why would I check in now that I'm grown? That's not finna happen. That's not period. All that shit. That's all what this is about. He read that whole entire thing off to her. And then
so he read it to the what's name people.
To the jury.
You saw the video.
Okay, so what happened was that video. I'm guessing the defense got that some later something, so it wasn't able to be submitted into evidence in time for the trial. But they wanted to bring it in anyway. So what happened was the judge says that you have to. The judge is definitely, she was all aboard online because this is actually when the judge says, well, the jury needs to hear this video because she has too many inconsistencies in her story. And this is part of showing how inconsistent that she is. So, but the government, they was fighting.
Did you hear what the judge said? So let me break it down again for you guys or whatever, just to make sure for those who come in. Then I'm going to let you hear the little bit part. The judge, okay, so there was a documentary, okay, a low-budget documentary by a guy named Shabazz. This piece of this documentary has been going around YouTube. If you want to see some parts of the documentary, I don't know if it's still on, but there's a guy named Shabazz, and he's on Instagram as is entertainment. As is entertainment, one word. And he had clips of a documentary called Presidents. And in that documentary, it was supposed to show a bias-free documentary about R. Kelly, which I don't understand. But anyways, Azriel Clary was supposed to be in on this documentary along with Azriel. Well, that fell apart because Azriel decided to go with the Sun-Times and tell her story, as opposed to try to find someone to pick up the documentary on a network. So that was the beginning of, I told another blogger, they finna fall out. And he said, why? I said, because she went to the Sun-Times and told it. When you have a documentary coming out, you don't want to do interviews and tell it because of the simple fact is that's going to take away from the documentary. Well, because we found out that the Sun-Times paid her good money for her story. Okay. The documentary, they did not even try to get a network. Okay. Let me take her off the screen. Hold on. So they were trying to get a network to pick up the documentary. You know, like how Survivor R. Kelly had Lifetime and all that. So they were trying to get Netflix and somebody to pick up the documentary. Well, the documentary didn't get picked up, okay? And people on YouTube were paying, they were paying, I think it was $10 to view it. It was on like one of them little small pay-per-view things. And in this documentary, she was saying, she spilled the beans. She was saying what the young lady just said. She said, I never checked in when I was 17. I was doing what I want to do at 17. I'm definitely not going to check in at 18, 19 now that I'm grown. And that documentary and clips of what she said was turned over to the defense, especially from people who support R. Kelly. Because we nibbled it, we snapped it, and I'm quite sure more than one of us turned it over to the defense. Everybody got an email address. You always sending clips to the defense. So the defense got that, okay? And not only that, they listening and looking at us too. You see what I'm saying? They looking at us as well, okay? The prosecutors and the government and the defense. Everybody look at what we say, okay? So in this president, she was saying a lot of things. And this is where she came out and said that R. Kelly made her eat shit, okay? Come to find out, if you missed a little bit of this, he did not make her eat it. She ate it on her own to try to show him how sincere she is about loving him. That's the challenge she did and said it to him. That I would eat my shit to show I love you, all this kind of stuff. Now, I don't understand why you guys wouldn't believe that, considering this is the same young lady who tried to take her life over a young man. Okay? We have to keep that in mind, the mindset of this young lady. Then we also have to understand that this is the same young lady who testified that her parents sold her, okay, to R. Kelly and told her to lie about her age. Now, she said she was lying when she was talking to Gayle King, but in fact, at the end of cross-examination, she was actually saying she was telling the truth. So because of the inconsistencies in her story or whatever, President wasn't added in or allowed in as exhibit, anything, or evidence. But because her answers were inconsistent in today's cross-examination, the judge was like, the jury needs to hear this. And we can add that in later on, but the jury needs to hear this because this young lady's inconsistent. Now, it was said that at the beginning of, and I was one of the ones that said that the judge has been biased because everything is one-sided. Well, now the scale is starting to rise up on a level. Remember when I was telling you about injustice, okay? Now she has to rise up because now she can actually see what's going on. So this is exactly what they're talking about, and we're going to listen some more.
She was going and getting her law books and slamming shit on the desk and all kind of shit to try to prove that they can't show that video.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this time, she was saying that the prosecutor was so upset and slamming everything and trying to tell the judge, you cannot show that video. And she was slamming stuff and getting mad because now her case is falling apart. So I'm going to clip that by a few seconds back and let her say that again and start it over.
The defense got that some later something, so it wasn't able to be submitted into evidence in time for the trial, but they wanted to bring it in anyway. So what happened was the judge says that you have to, the judge is definitely, she was all aboard online because this is actually when the judge says, well, the jury needs to hear this video because she has too many inconsistencies in her story. And this is part of showing how inconsistent that she is. So, but the government, I mean, they was fighting. She was going and getting her law books and slamming shit on the desk and all kind of shit to try to prove that they can't show that video.
Yeah, okay. She didn't want
so the judge said, well, what you're going to do, Kenny, you can ask her questions. Once she denies anything that you said, that's when we bring the video into evidence, and then we're going to show it to the jury. Exactly what she said on precedence. So For everybody that thought Judge Donnelly was trying to set Rob up too, shout out to Judge Donnelly.
Shout out to Judge Donnelly.
For that,
She
they was trying to get that. They was trying to get that tossed out. Not happening. Refused the room, sure offered the room. So this is also when they call her up because they basically tried to say that Cheryl was a runner and that she was arranging for her ass to sleep with Rob when that was not the case. Cheryl was trying to put the mother and daughter in the room together. The mother refused to share the room with Azriel.
Hey, y'all, this is going to be one loss in the government's.
So
they say the government win 99.9%. But they're going to lose this one.
So remember, Azriel said that she didn't recall the trip being 8 hours and that she must got it wrong, that she didn't know that she was in Key West or he was in Jacksonville. Maybe she got the locations mixed up because she said, well, my mom didn't drive me that long and she didn't drive me that far. Well, she was actually taking notes of everything that was going on. And he presented that to her and told her, remember you made these notes about your trip to Jacksonville? We wasn't able to see that, so I can't really tell y'all what the notes say. But at the end of the day, she acknowledged that she did say it. She did write the notes, and it was proof that she lied once again.
Bye. I mean, that girl told about 1,000 lies.
But here, now this is where this is what's funny. We go back to the documentary precedents. They was talking about precedents. Kennick was trying to say why it needs to be presented. The government stands up and say, "Well, I didn't even see it. I didn't see the video." Kennick says, "No, I'm pretty sure y'all did see that video." They said, "No, we didn't." The judge said, "No, I'm pretty sure y'all seen it too."
Yeah, because the government could see everything.
It's on YouTube. You can pretty much see everything. So the judge was like, "No, you did see it." And then the government proceeded to say, "Well, not that particular part. We don't recall that particular part." So now y'all know where they got their line witness from.
Yeah.
And now y'all know who was the one that was helping her on the stand and get her statements and stuff together. Because now they lying. They was basically in court yesterday. So yeah, he said, and then he proceeded to say, "Well, I got most of this stuff from y'all."
Yep.
He said, "I don't know how y'all didn't see none of this, didn't know about precedents or anything, because I got most of this stuff from y'all." So I'm guessing that's why Rob's attorneys was never really reaching out to people to be witnesses and stuff, because the government was sitting there making their case for them. They was looking at like, do these motherfuckers know what they just handed us? Mm-hmm. So again, this went on for almost 2 hours, where they was talking about how to get this, because the government was doing everything in their power to get the judge to not let them into evidence. They do not want the jury seeing this whatsoever. Again, shout out to Shabazz.
Shout out to my people in the chat. Please get the likes up. I need to see 600 likes. I got I had 621 people at one point. Y'all get those likes up.
And then once again, this is where the judge says the jury needs to see that video because Azriel is too inconsistent in her statements. I should have Googled this before because I really don't know what this means, y'all. Right. But the judge said once precedence is allowed into the courtroom and they see this, this will be evidence as for impeachment.
So Azriel's going to be impeached.
Yeah. I was like, damn, the president got to do this shit.
And Azriel's going to be impeached.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said that video is grounds. So if somebody can look it up really quick, if y'all, that video will be allowed into evidence as impeachment.
Oh, they go do Azriel like they tried to do Trump. Ooh-wee! The judge said that video, if it's get added in, that's grounds for impeachment. I was like, well, goddamn, they treating her like the damn president? That's the only time I heard that damn word. Impeachment? And I know that word don't mean good. I know that word don't mean good. I know Azriel do not want to come back today. If I was her, I would not go back. I'd be like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I would be like, my stomach hurt. I got diarrhea. Whatever. Girl, run. Okay, I told your daddy, don't let your ass go on that stage in 2020. He all want to be all cocky and all this and that, and he got his ass in trouble. I mean, his ass going to jail, his wife going to jail, you might be going to jail. Oh my God, some other folks will not be going to jail because then y'all going to be testifying against them folks. Oh, it's just a whole big criminal enterprise. I am praying that the federal government and Homeland Security, when they was in there shaking their head, they need to go back to the office and start building the case on the real criminals. We was telling you in the beginning that these were the real criminals. We were telling you that. I told people that. Everybody told everybody who supported R. Kelly. What if it was your daughter? Just like old stupid ass here. What if it was your daughter? Well, it wasn't their daughter either. They handed their daughter over like we said. They told their daughter to lie about their age. And then not only that, she testified that she pretended to be Azriel, the mama. Yes. Yes. Shit. Don't tell us we didn't know what we was talking about. Oh, man, look. This is some injustice here. When I told you this was some injustice, I meant that. You men need to be mad at this shit. You heard this testimony? All you men sitting up there out there, oh, he go R. Kelly her. No, that ain't funny today, is it? Now that you heard her get caught up in that shit, now y'all need to be mad. Thank you, Dom K. Now y'all need to be mad. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I didn't get a clearance from Truth Media. I will probably do that tomorrow when I get a clearance. I will probably do that tomorrow. Y'all, Azriel will be on the stand tomorrow. Infamous Sylvia will be coming on and taking notes, hopefully. And when she does that, I'm gonna give y'all the after hour breakdown. Okay. And once I give you the after hour breakdown of all of this, then you guys can sit up there and now get mad. Aaliyah never charged R. Kelly. She was not a broken person at all. Rest her soul. Aaliyah had plenty of times to lock him up, and she would have, if there was a reason to. Aaliyah was very grateful for R. Kelly for, writing her first album and getting her into the spotlight. She is forever will be his protege. He got her career started. And one of the things that is sad is that all these young women wanted to be the next Aaliyah. And there's only can be one. And they wanted to have a career. Instead of being the next Aaliyah, they should have been the next selves. One of the reasons why Aaliyah's career started because she was a gift. She had it. K. Michelle is R. Kelly's protege too. She had it. She wrote her own music and all this and that. She had it. And it was more than just whatever it is. They got something out of it. You cannot say sex is not that bad, people. That's the problem. I think people, sex is not that. See, we can't say that. I have a problem with this consent thing. I think that consent, if you get to the age of consent to sex, I think it should be federal. I think it should be in all 50 states. I don't think every state should be different. That's a trap. That's entrapment. And I think men should push this agenda. I think men should push the change that everywhere it should be just 18. So that way, because we say 18 is legal, so that way nobody can have all these questions. You know what I mean? Because if you are a person, like say for instance, you're 23 and you're dating someone a little younger or whatever, and it happens, And it don't mean that you're a pedophile. You know, they don't go to that extreme, because I had a guy that was older than me. And, you know, my husband's slightly older than me. So it's just like, okay, if you are 18 and you go with a 25-year-old or something like that or whatever, it happens. People go date older. Some women are more mature than others or whatever. But if you 18 all across the board, we wouldn't have all these type of situations happen. And we are a culture that is going through systemic racism. And the thing of it is, I speak on cultural obligation, and somebody said to me the other night that they didn't believe in cultural obligation because they believe in the Lord and all this and that. Well, here is the thing about that. Cultural obligation really don't have anything to do with religion. It has something to do with the culture of the people. Now, when people say things like that to me, I want to remind people that it's okay to put your higher being above everything. That's what you're supposed to do if you are a believer. Okay, I'm a believer, but I don't say it because sometimes it offends others. But it doesn't offend me because I know who I belong to. However, you have to remember, God loved the earth too. Okay, He loved us. He loved us so much. We know He gave His only begotten Son because He loved us so much. So you can't be so earthly bound that you're no earthly good. Heavenly bound that you're no earthly good. Let me say that correctly. Okay? You cannot be. You know what I mean? So when people say things like that, I want you to understand, you have to make sure you praise to the higher power, but you still have deeds down here. This is why you have a life. It's what you do with this life on earth. What do you do with it on earth? This earth and all of us in it is why God gave up His only begotten Son, because He loved us so much. You understand? So you can't say, oh, I'm not doing this, I just praise to the Lord and all this and that. No, that's false teaching. Okay? Because you got to remember, you can praise to the Lord and you give Him the higher power and everything else and all the praise in the world. But He still loved us in the world, because we know what He did for us. We know what He did for us. Okay? So He loved us. And if you love God as much as you say you do, you know how much He loves us, you will know that you have to do things down here as well. You understand? It's what you do down here to make sure you get up there. All right? So, that being said, because I think people forget that. You know what I mean? And I can't remember if it was Shakira said that, but I think people forget that. You know what I mean? And it's not to not put God first and foremost in your life. You're supposed to. But you're supposed to be earthly good. You can't be so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good. That's not what God wants for you. He gave His only begotten Son for this earth and us that's in it. We have to remember that. Your deeds down here determines your praise for Him. Because we know in earth and we know everyday life is complicated. People get struck with illnesses. Our faith gets challenged. We know that. It's how you praise Him and how you worship Him down here determines if you go up there. So if you believe that He will never forsake you down here, then you know you will go up there. But you got to do your deeds here. You cannot just qualify the world and the earth and thinking you go there, because you got to remember how much He loved us. All right? So that being said, and that being a reminder, okay, thank y'all for listening to Spitting Fire. It was good. We're going to go into this tomorrow late night. I'm praying that Sylvia gets up in that courtroom again tomorrow to give us some more information that we need to hear. I'm gonna do she's gonna break it down on her channel first, and then I'm gonna go with the after the late night breakdown. And make sure you guys cash app Spitting Fire to support my channel. Also, make sure you cash app Sylvia. Okay, it's cash app to Masimi. That's cash app sign $TUMU SIIME, and that's to get the transcript, okay? So that we will have documentation on what was said in the court and proof, so they won't be trying to go around and rearrange things, because we know systemic racism happens, and it happens not just with the police, the prosecutor, and it happens in the chambers. So we want to make sure that this man is getting done right, and from what the witnesses are being treated, getting caught up in, So we want to make sure we have that, okay? Because this fight has just begun. All right. Thank y'all for listening to Spitting Fire. I'm your girl.